and they got one late on us. We weren't able to put enough, more than 4 or 5 positive plays on offense together. Offensively, weight-wise, I thought our line matched up pretty well with them, but they had a lot of length on us, and anytime you're a defensive or offensive lineman with length, sometimes they get enough separation that I would say, we got beat on the line of scrimmage probably more times than not last night. But, that's not a knock to our kids. It's just every game's different on who you see. Skill-wise, we ground out some hard yards. We had a few big completions in the air, and we threw a couple small trick plays late in the second half trying to make something happen, and didn't intercept it, but just plays we had to take chances on. We were down 2 scores, and we had to try to make something happen. But at the end it just wasn't enough. Super proud of our 5 seniors and everything they've brought to us. And Linville moving forward, they're a ground pound team that probably be competitive in the next round.
And you want to just mention your seniors here and just maybe talk about them just a little bit?
I was going to do.
Your last.
Isaac Gentry, more on benefit to our team this year. He did a great job putting kickoffs out there. Tanner Adrian, just a motor on the D line, smaller kid, but hard to block because of his size and his motor. And then Declan Hampton, one of our split outs, touchdown last week, and a lot of catches this year. Sven Dahlstrom obviously is a big deal. He caught a lot of balls and ran a lot of balls for us, and all out there on defense. So just make sure I didn't miss that. Gentry, Tanner, Jackson, Declan, and Sven. Yeah, sorry. That's the last thing I'd want to do is forget someone. But my mind's all over the map this morning a little bit. So, but yeah, super proud of those 5 guys, everything they've gave to the program. And, they felt it last night. And I encourage the whole team, but especially the juniors through freshmen who are going to be returning to try to. My full-time job is strength P. So, we do speed and strength training.
I'd like to send out a congratulations to myself for choosing the first score of the game last night for the Sigourney News Review, and I won some free goodies off of that. So anyway, and I almost picked the correct score if we wouldn't have kicked the field goal and went for all I need is my taller chair right now.
I just noticed there's some pumpkin spice rolls and Christmas things.
I've been looking at them.
Been staring at those too, or?
All right,
we
we got Athletic Director Coach Crawford here today, just to kind of review and talk about the fall sports. We're into the playoffs for football. Volleyball still going. Cross country just finished. I guess all around here, just for us, pretty proud to be a Savage right now because I think and a Cobra, with the cross country, the volleyball, and then the SK Cobras going on. I think sports are going pretty well right now, and even Keota volleyball finished well, had a very good season. So we just kind of get your output on the season and where it's going. And
we talked earlier about us starting on the culture of our school and the culture of everything around Sigourney and Keota and how that kind of expands a little bit. And you can go back to Coach Howard with football, and we've tried taking that a little bit and kind of expanded it to make sure we kind of keep the same expectations and standards as far as all of our stuff throughout the fall, just to have a good culture and get our school year started off on the right foot. And we had parent-teacher conferences the other night, and parents were really happy, I think, with, where their kids are at academically and all those things. And things are just, those two things kind of coincide a little bit for us. And, the football season started off a little slow, obviously, with PCM. But one thing I noticed, I was looking at scores this morning, and half of our schedule is in round 2.
Wow. If
you have PCM, Mid-Prairie, Pleasantville did get beat, but, Mediapolis won. All those, half of our schedule. So our schedule for football was
a gauntlet.
What was a gauntlet at the beginning, and I think it proves the worth of our kids, the efforts that our coaching staffs have put in, and then on top of that, all the support that the football team has gotten, obviously with parents and community and all those things. So it's been a whirlwind somewhat. It's kind of fun. who would he play next? I think I was asked 2 or 3 times just standing here already.
I'm sure, yeah.
Who's next?
Yeah.
And that comes out at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And but yeah, a lot of. I mean, there's a lot behind the scenes with all of that stuff that happens. I have a list ready for you of everything if you ever ask, but
Go on and read it if you
I
want.
mean, just there's a lot of people to thank. Secretaries, Cassie Mitchell and Angela Stegenberg, and just the support from Shannon and our Superintendent Hatfield and the board that for everything that goes on at the school, and their trust in us, and that makes a lot for my job easier when those things are happening.
Yep.
So, on the volleyball side of things. Sierra and Sid have done. I think they've done a decent job, a great job actually. They lost their setter at the beginning of the year with Brooklyn Hemsley. Ava Finneran has stepped up there. We've got some very good hitters, and it was just good to see. They've put a lot of work in. I think one of the girls told me that we've been doing this since June. And you think about the time and the effort that they've put in to make their season successful. It's just
We got.
who we got.
You stole that from me because I was going to ask him.
So what's your thoughts? We know who won. We know who lost. I mean, you deal with the state quite a bit, so
Yeah.
I would imagine you probably have more insight on what.
Put it that way in Boone. How about that?
Well, they seem to like you.
They
out
seem
there.
to like me. So
Southeast Iowa High School,
middle school.
or junior high athletic director of
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
from,
so
that's from
there's
the
a
association.
congratulations right there.
That's from.
Yep. So
And that's why we have the junior high football schedule the way we do, because we have the man that we work with.
So, who are we going to play? I've seen a bracket. I will tell you that. I'm not sure if the bracket is legitimate or how they built the bracket. The 2s or 3s matchups, there's no upsets, then the bracket would work.
Right.
But, as everybody, the state can do whatever they want to do.
Yes, they can.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how they work it if, district teams don't come back again. We could have Wilton come to town. You could have Waterloo Columbus coming to town or Dyke coming back down. So, it's just, there's like 5 or 6 teams out there, I was kind of looking at. I'm sure Adam Sellers has probably got it narrowed down by mileage and time. And
I'll bet he didn't even go to bed last night.
Probably not. Probably not.
So-
He's still
Listening,
punching
Adam.
numbers.
So I mean, there's a lot of options. Just hoping for the best scenario for us. I did, being the AD, I've been told that we have to watch the weather, and next week's weather is like, on average, 50 to 60% rain every day of the week, and the high is 58 next Friday. So, if it's a passing team, let's have some fun, right? So
if Columbus Catholic wants to come to town, let them come to town.
let them come to town. And Wilton's a passing team as well. So, I talk to their baseball coach about every other day. So, get a little insight there and what's happening with them. So, who knows?
So for sure, second round we're hosting.
We will be hosting.
And then
Yes.
how would third round go?
We will be hosting.
Okay.
We should be hosting. There's only really 2 teams I believe we figured out is because it's alphabetical order from top to bottom.
Okay.
And someone's going to go, well, R becomes before S with Regina, but Regina had a district loss to West Branch, and we didn't have any district losses. So the only 2 teams we could not get matched up with are Grundy Center and Emmitsburg.
Okay.
Otherwise, we will be hosting the quarterfinals as long as we win.
Okay.
So,
So then on, kind of past the fast or the fall teams here.
Yep.
I mean, upcoming, wrestling getting started here, basketball getting started. I mean, just kind of fill
Yep.
everybody in on kind of
sure.
our winter sports here.
Yeah, we started working on gym schedules probably about 2 weeks ago. I sat down with Coach Moore and Coach Eslick and started doing some things. The girls basketball team with Coach Moore they've had some open gyms minus the volleyball players. Obviously, we want to keep the volleyball team playing volleyball. So they've had some open gyms, started to shoot. I know Coach Eslick has some open gyms scheduled. I think sometime this week or next week, a little later, so some of the football boys can get in there and shoot. A kid like Isaac Bruns is pretty important to our football team, and we don't want to get him hurt, but we do want to get some shots up here and there. Right. So, and all those kids, obviously. So we've started some preliminary basketball things. Basketball schedule world is it just got crazy again. So I'll be hunting for some girls basketball games, and we're still looking for a 22nd game kind of with our boys. So kind of putting some feelers out there, trying to find a couple extra games here and there, and then building the junior high schedule because Sierra's still coaching and she does our junior high girls. So kind of building her schedule for her and helping her out, and then we'll have junior high wrestling starting as well. But girls basketball, we lost Rain Barthelman and Zoe Webb off our varsity squad. One went to Iowa, one went to Iowa State for academics, and some smart girls obviously that we need to replace on the high school team. But I feel pretty good about that. We've got a lot of girls returning and a good core of girls that I think get along, and I look for decent things there to happen. On the boys' side, you got Isaacs and Solon coming back, and then you really got a lot of opportunities for some younger guys to step up. And I'm really looking forward to watching some of them grow with the system Coach Eslick and Coach Tremmel put in. On the wrestling side, we've got Jake Moore, Reed Molnex, Brady Clark returning, Big Casino, Owen Mankey coming back. So, and then obviously, Rihanna coming back as well. So, looking for a decent season there. Talked with Coach Vanden Heuvel the last couple days. He's getting geared up, trying to get all the corn out of the field, and he's getting geared. Sure, yeah. He's ready to go. He's awesome every day, and he's ready to go. So, looking for good things there, and then the dark horse of the winter season might be bowling.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up next, so we didn't forget.
It might be bowling. We have, for small town Sigourney, I guess we have 2 boys state qualifiers coming back, and Landon Griner and Brock Alderson. And we've got most of our squad coming back on the boys' side. They should be really fun to watch as far as putting some scores up. And on the girls' side, we have Jaden Montgomery coming back as one of our girl bowlers. So could be I'm really times with the kids as far as their successes.
Okay.
I know for the bowling team, I went down this summer and bowled a couple nights with Adult Youth League and bowled with Landon Griner, and I know. Owen Clark, Wells Clark. I mean,
Ty Kruger.
We've got some kids that can bowl.
Yeah, there's some kids that are coming.
Back in the day when we bowled, we thought we were pretty good.
Well, I think I still am.
Go throw a ball once.
Yeah.
Because I still thought I was too.
And would you say you lasted 2 weeks, or?
I lasted 2 weeks. I know. I thought I was so good. I even went out and bought new shoes, a new ball, everything, thinking this is. I want to go show these boys what's what.
All right, you bought in.
It didn't happen.
So you weren't Kingpin.
Was not Kingpin.
Oh, geez.
I was the guy Kingpin beat.
Oh.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks for coming in. Thanks for kind of filling us in on the fall, the winter. And we'll see you here at the end of the show with our pick'em.
All right. Thanks for having me. Appreciate what you guys are doing here.
You bet.
Thanks, Mr. Crawford.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, we're in between guests this morning, and we bring Coach Jensen in. Let's once again take a look at some of the digital deals of the week here at Brothers Market. Make sure you download the Brothers Market app and get all sorts of great deals via the app. So make sure you take advantage of that. Digital deals of the week via the Brothers Market app. We are live at Brothers Market in Sigourney for the sports section. Let's go back to Alan Bruce and Coach Jensen.
All right, thanks, Steve. Once again here, our last guest, Coach Jensen of the SK Cobras. Big 52-7 win over West Central Valley last night. Improves your record to 8-1 onto the second round. I'm sure you're excited here for the next hour here to see who's coming to town next week. Obviously, that game last night, I mean, we were talking about it earlier, the tone was set early on the first play of the game, and it just – I felt like the guys coming out last night, were excited to play, and it just felt like we were ready. We were ready to play.
They looked very focused.
Yeah, I think the end of the regular season, the lulls, it's we knew the competition we were facing wasn't wasn't up to necessarily par, and those couple weeks of practice, I didn't feel great. We might have the field because even our first kickoff, we went down there and crushed them out of bounds, and then first play from scrimmage, they ran a motion from the receiver to the right, pitched it back left to the tailback, and Jake was just sitting on that and just absolutely crushed him, and Schwabe jumped on the fumble, and a couple plays later we're up 7-0 before you could really take a breath. So we played physical and we preached it. We saw this West Central Valley play some teams that were physical and didn't do overly well, so we knew get on them, punish them, just break their will. And I think we might have done that that first play, but the first quarter, nothing went wrong. Nothing went wrong. 28-0. Defense was just hammering them. Offense was rolling. I think we sent that message loud and clear that this is Sigourney Keota, and you better come to play.
Yeah, exactly.
I know the biggest thing in all football games is turnovers and penalties, and don't beat yourself. Last night, I don't think we had any penalties, did we? And we had 0 turnovers. We may have had one.
We had
penalty.
the one that offset with theirs.
Yep. Yes, that was it. So the discipline. Talk a little bit about the discipline of your team and the focus of them.
Yeah, I think we keep a goal board running throughout the season, and one of the columns is turnovers, and for offense, creating turnovers on defense, and the 2 games that we either lost or almost lost, we had 2 turnovers each game. Every other game we've had 0, and on the takeaway side, we maybe had a couple in those close games. The other games we had 2 to 3, even 4. And that's huge. You give the ball to the other team, that's other opportunities for them. You take it from them, that's more opportunities for you. But the guys have done a great job of being fundamentally sound and not turning the ball over and covering it up when you're getting tackled. Don't let people come and rip at it. And defensively, started getting quite a few more fumbles. Recovered 2 last night, Schwabe and Jake Moore, and then Cal Clarahan with a pick. So we're +3 there, and ultimately those 3 led to 21 points. So it's huge, but the guys are just mentally focused, fundamentally sound. They understand they don't have to do too much. We've all got to play together. You just do your job. That's all you got to focus on, and when we do that, we look pretty good.
They were very disciplined last night. I know West Central Valley ran that front where every time Sawyer say down, that nose guard would flip, and usually, I don't care how disciplined you are, there's a false start on that. We didn't have one last night. Very disciplined team.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought our lawn did a really good job of picking them up, and they created some problems for us with their cutting. Just cutting our offensive line, trying to keep them from pulling and whatnot. But we worked on it in practice. We knew potential for injury when you work on that stuff, but we saw them do it every single play against South Hamilton, and we run. If you look at South Hamilton and us, we look similar, and so we knew that was going to be coming. So we did work on that. We tried to stay a little safe with it, but our line did a great job of the ability to go just make plays, and it's not easy when guys are.
He lowered his head and was punishing the tacklers, and we could hear it up in the press box.
It has raised this year. Early on, got dinged. Our backs are buying into that physical JV game because you shot 3 yards upfield. So, they do a good job of just understanding. They might not be the ones to get their name in the paper, but the guys behind them might. And if they do, it's because of those guys up front.
And one last thing that kind of stood out to me there last night is on your special teams. Just some of the younger guys you got in there that are really busting butt to be on the squad and making plays.
I know you said that very first kickoff, that was Aiden Galindo that laid that lick, a freshman on the sideline, and that was a lick.
Yeah, I think those guys have earned it. Just when we tell guys, you got to go make your name in JV if you're a younger guy, and if you make your name on a JV, we will look at you on like special teams first and things like that, and a lot of guys might not really oh yeah, he's just talking. No, Ike was on. Ike Molnix is on there. We added Aiden Galindo because I watched a JV game early on, and he was always the first one down there. And all right, so we added him, and then Carson O'Rourke, same thing. Just sprints down like a madman and just causes havoc. And and honestly, we have all three of them on one side. And typically, you might even them out a little bit, but we kept the one side solid with what we had at the beginning of the year. Kind of filled those guys in on our left side just because of the speed. We had some other guys on there that weren't able to get down there quite as fast. And I think kickoff coverage. If you're kicking the ball down to the 10 or 5, you've got to have speed to get down there because there's a lot of field in between you and them, and everybody's trying to knock you out to give the runner a lane. So we just added speed. Those three guys showed that. Hey, we've got the speed and we've got the physical ability, and I think all three of them, along with other guys, were making plays all night on special teams.
No, very well. Well, Coach, thanks for coming in. We'll be talking next week. I'm not even going to ask you who you think you're going to play because we have no clue.
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. But we're about an hour away, I think, from figuring out where we are going to, or who we're going to play, I guess, because we are going to host. So good luck next week. We'll be talking another victory and keep it rolling.
All right. Thank you. Go Cobras.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Good job last night.
One thing, guys, I want to say is when you say Aiden McGuire's name, you have to say it, Aiden McGuire, or a quiver of Cobras.
Quiver, yeah.
Eddie Conrad doing a great job on the PA at the SK games. As we bring in our pickers, might be picking some corn, might be picking some beans.
Sure.
Who we got? We got.
This is Rick Landgraf.
We're actually not seeing anybody right now. We're looking at our standings, but whoever we're bringing in at this point.
And then we got Coach Crawford as our
right.
guest.
Pick 'em standings right now.
Guest picker. Come on
Pumpkin
over and have a
Spice
seat.
Cellars. There is everybody after last week's results. Everybody is super tight in the standings. We have a 4-way tie at the top. Pumpkin Spice Cellars, Bulldog Han, the guest pickers, and Riverboat Rick all at 50 points apiece. Yes. And then I gained some ground as well. Stunning Steve is at 48. So we've got 4 with 50 and myself with 48. So it is literally anybody's ball game right now as far as the Pick'em standings go. Of course, that Campus Life trophy is on the line. I
guess we should have brought that in and just held
have it on
display.
The Campus Life from 1986.
1986.
The trophy that will be the prize. I don't even know when this will end, when the Pick'em standings will come to an end, but regardless.
Whenever I'm on top, we'll just end it.
Oh, boy.
So what do we got, and where do we start? Because I'm still in last, so...
So you go first. First.
Yeah, we'll go first to last.
There you go.
Should be first.
First to last or last to first?
Well, I'm going to be the last picker today. I'm
I'm
going to be the last picker so I can write down who's picking what. So.
Exactly.
All right, Steve, our first game, since you're picking first,
All right.
is going to be number 7 Penn State at number 3 Ohio State.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll go Ohio State. I mean, it could be anybody's, but I'll go Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Slow down, Neil.
Nice,
I'm sorry.
Nice shirt, by the way.
What's that?
God.
Oregon State doesn't play today, just so everybody knows.
Penn State, but I forgot. Me and Bruce were with the Big Nut,
We were with the big
and we gotta follow the Big Nut. So I'm going Ohio State.
And the Big Nut is the crazy Ohio State fan. Is that right?
Goes to every single game.
All right, our second game is number 17 Tennessee at number 11 Alabama.
I think I'm going to go with
Number 16 Duke at number 4 Florida State.
I'll go Florida State. What the heck? Or no, actually, let me scratch that. Put me down for Duke. I'll go with the upset.
Head coach for the Florida State is Jay Norvell, so he's a former offensive coordinator from Arizona.
I thought maybe he was a baseball player.
I'm going Florida State.
Isn't Norvell something? Was he a former Hawkeye?
Yeah.
All right.
Different one. Mike Norvell. It's Mike Norvell at
Jay.
Florida State.
Jay's the
Jay's
one
at
that.
Colorado State.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
We got.
Fox.
I'm going to go the Hawks. 10-9. It's going to be a close one today. I think. Means we'll have to stay till the end. Yeah.
You mean ticked off?
Started the
That's what he said.
third quarter.
Upset?
Yeah, upset. We'll call it. That
Angry?
we're like, let's get out of here.
We go stomping down the stairs, shaking our heads.
North Dakota, not North Dakota State, North Dakota
Okay.
at UNI, and this is I think they got equal records. They're pretty equal here.
Well, then you and I.
How many more are there?
This is a marathon, Lee.
The same thing except for him.
You got something to do? Somewhere to go?
I think I'm going to go North. I'm going to go North Dakota.
Honestly, I was leaning towards North Dakota.
They're the Bison.
Sure.
No, they're the.
Sioux.
Or the North Dakotians. Somebody pick.
I'm a UNI alumni, so I have to go Northern Iowa.
I'm going UNI. Okay, then on our last, this will be our 2-point pick here today.
Ooh, double.
But you have to pick two teams.
Oh.
Okay. So my pick 'em here. This, of course, we had to bring up baseball because Coach Crawford's here.
Well, of course.
So
We're taking
we
care of it
got
for you.
the Astros and the Rangers and the Phillies and Diamondbacks, but you have to pick the two to get into the World Series. And right now the Astros lead 3-2, and the Phillies and Diamondbacks are tied 2-2. So
I have not watched any baseball.
that
this
makes it
year.
even better. But you have to get both right to get the 2 points.
Astros. And who's the National League?
Phillies and Diamondbacks.
Phillies, I guess. Atlanta Braves.
Rangers and Phillies.
I have no idea.
This is the ball that's white and has little red laces. Okay, good.